In this video, I'm going to share a little bit about the thought process and the creative process that we went through to create the Keyart for Escape the Nightmare. I'm Kiwi of KiwiStars. Escape the Nightmare is a minigame that we made, published through Pathway Studios onto the Minecraft Marketplace store. You can download it on your Bedrock version of Minecraft. So discussions for the concept of Keyart for any game that we make often has a varied timeline. Sometimes we start discussing it because we're excited about the new game that we're making, and the game's not even done, or maybe we haven't even started on the game, but we have a really exciting, cool concept for the Keyart. But most of the time, the game is done, and that's when we start discussing ideas for the Keyart. So the discussions for Escape the Nightmare Keyart came about, and my husband Stars expressed the priority of our unique monsters being featured in the Keyart. For those of you that might not know, the Keyart is just the main marketing image for a marketplace game. It's typically the first thing someone's going to see when they find your game, and it's not unlike a thumbnail for a YouTube video. First impressions are very important. So at this point, we take our time and jot down rough sketches of some ideas that we think could have potential. From there, we take those rough sketches and I will flesh out and really put some time into detailing all of these different versions and options so that we can really get a sense of what it might look like. And then from there, we can finalize and finish the end project, all just based on what we feel looks the best and what we think might capture the eye of the average Minecraft gaming browser. For Escape the Nightmare specifically, we felt that the mobs or the monsters that we had made for this game, our modelers, animators, artists, they just did such a great job that they were very unique, and we just felt like they needed to be front and center in the Keyart this time. We tried so many versions of this. We included the main scary monster that we like to call Tally in the center, and tried adding in the mannequins on either side, and then even had a version where the scarecrow was looking over out of the trees. We tried putting the scene in a wood, into the forest, putting all these creatures in the forest. We went back and forth with doing a cornfield or not, or doing no background. At one point, we were very seriously considering having 0 splash text on the Keyart, so no text whatsoever having the title of the game, to just kind of bring more of a ambience, I guess, to the image, and not have something breaking that immersion kind of feel. But we also really wanted the look as if you, the player, were looking through this lens in this photo and you were holding a flashlight on the scene that you were looking at. And so that probably took me longer than any of the other Keyart that we've ever done, because I was kind of trying to teach myself these techniques too, of this whole idea of this lighting effect of having a flashlight off of one side as if it's in the hand of a Minecraft character, so this kind of funny angle on the side, and getting that to translate well so that when you just look at the picture, you just know that that must be flashlight light. Once we got that, I kind of had the idea to go with the font across the screen in such a way that the flashlight lights it up in the center, like you see in the final version. I ended up being really happy with how that turned out, and so that's what we went with for having splash text in the Keyart. After trying all these versions with all of these different mobs in the Keyart, we decided it was too cluttered and too confusing, and we really just wanted to focus on the one scary mob chasing you through this nightmare world the whole way. So that's where we started focusing. So we've got the splash text, we've got the lighting, pretty cool. We decided on going with the cornfield instead of the forest, because the forest again just kind of created clutter in the background and you weren't focused on the main thing as much. So cornfield gave that ambient vibe that we were going for without being overbearing with lots of trees. But even after all of this, we had so many elements that we really loved. There was just something lacking about Tally himself. The the scary creature himself. His face was just a bit neutral. So we went ahead and got in the game and captured a screenshot of the monster in its roar animation. And that emotion captured by the creature's whole body language just really amped up the kind of catchiness of what we were trying to go for and added an element of scary that was really needed. So in doing this, we ended up sacrificing seeing details of the creepy hooks on Tally as the hands of the mob. But in the end, I think it was a good trade-off to just end up with that sort of universal look of rage in the mob's position of his arms and the jaw open and the scream. That was worth it to us in the end, to kind of lose that detail that you're seeing in the creepy hooks. He just ended up looking so much scarier and threatening than when he was in the other position. And hopefully this translates to the gamer that is browsing and they get excited by that scary face and the idea of trying to imagine running away from him. And all I'm really using for this process is screenshots that we capture on our computers and a basic iPad with the Apple Pencil and the Procreate app. I realize there's probably a lot of better software and tools to use to get this process done, but this is what I know at this point, and so that's what I'm working with. So maybe you found this video interesting or useful or not. Either way, I may see you in another one. Thanks for watching.